Yes, yes. So volume's okay? Good to go? Okay. I am going to go over a couple of things here really quickly because people are going to trickle in a few minutes late. Um, we are supposed to be starting right at 9 o'clock, so kudos to you for being on time. Several of you were even early. This is an important learning piece that in the online environment, when it has a start time, you're supposed to be there ready to go at that time. So you should actually probably log in a few minutes ahead, right? Because you don't want to be one of those people that comes in right as the teacher's starting and you miss stuff. So if it says the class starts at 9, I would log in 5 minutes till, or even just a couple minutes before. You don't want to wait until 9 o'clock to launch the session, okay? Because it does take a minute for you to get in and turn on your camera and your microphone and all of the things. So you want to make sure that you give yourself a couple of minutes of time to get in before the teacher starts talking so you don't miss anything, okay? Today we're learning. So we're all in this together. People are going to trickle in late. We have 10 right now. We should have 40 something. So yay for you guys for being on time. So let me go over a few of these things in class Connect, what Neuro looks like and the different tools that are here while we hopefully get a few more people. On the top toolbar up here, you will see your camera and your microphone. So right up there at the top, yours actually says Stride K-12, same thing. When you came into the classroom, it should have prompted you to check your camera and your phone. Cameras are not required all the time, but the teachers do love it. It is a huge bonus if you show up on screen and we can see you and we know that you're there and we're not just talking to ourselves. So if you are brave enough to do the camera, we love it. Okay. And I'm going to mute you guys. Some of you are on. Okay. When you come in, it also has you check your microphone and it gives you an opportunity to do, the testing 1, 2, 3, make sure the mic is working. During class time, if you would like to speak on the microphone, that's awesome. We love it. We do ask that you raise your hand, which is this little person over here with his hand up in the air, and allow the teacher to call on you instead of just coming over the microphone and interrupting, right? So all you have to do is raise your hand and the teacher will say, hey, yeah, Bella, did you have a question? Or Carson, did you have a question? And then you can turn on your microphone and talk, okay? If you don't like to talk on the microphone, that's okay. The teachers do require that at some point in time, you might have to get on the microphone, but you also have chat features down here at the bottom right. There is normally a question and answer section here. I turned it off for today because this is all of your first days and we're all learning together. So I wanted you just to ask questions in the main chat area. Um, However, if you see that question and answer mark there, that is a private chat between you and the teacher or the moderator. So if you have a question that you want to ask the teacher, you can put it in there and the other people in the classroom don't necessarily see it. Then, it may take a minute, but the teacher will respond to you privately in that area. So if you have something you don't want everybody to see, then you put it in the question answer. For today, we're just in the regular old room chat. Okay. At the bottom of the screen, you have your cameras. Only 4 or 5 are visible at any given time. So if you're a little camera shy, only 4 other people can see your camera at any given time, right? If the cameras distract you, you can there's a black bar above it that says hide webcams. I hide mine because it does distract me. I'm constantly looking at myself, what my face is doing, what my hair is doing. So I just hide them. The other reason I hide them is because if you close those cameras, it makes the screen bigger. So you can see everything on the screen a little bit larger. If you need to zoom in or zoom out, there is a plus and minus button right here, kind of hidden underneath that bubble line. It's only your individual view. So if you want to zoom in, zoom out, you can do that however much you need to. It's only your view. So it's not going to affect anybody else in the classroom, just you. Okay. Well, we grabbed a few more students in the meantime, so hopefully we've got more coming. We're just 5 minutes in. How are you feeling this morning? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you both? Give me some feedback. How are we feeling? Excited? Nervous? Both? Let's see what I can do here. Let's try a polling question. Um,
I'm
someone's,
fine.
someone's microphone is on.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine? Cool.
Yeah.
I was going to see if I could put a poll up there to ask you like smiley face, that kind of thing, but it's not working for me. So we're going to skip that for now. So in the chat, just tell me, are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you sleepy? What are you? Give me an emoji. Give me something in the chat. I'm going to awkward pause until you give me something. Nervous, sleepy, happy, excited. Oh, sleepy, tired. Good. You can be all of those things. Tired, yes. First couple of days of school is always a rough adjustment. Excited, awesome, good. Tired. All right. So this is me. My name is Mrs. Ingram. I am the Community Engagement Specialist. That's my official title. But for your purposes, I am the onboarding and orientation coach. Okay. I'm here to help you these first couple of days to help you figure out what you're doing and where you're going and where all of the things are. Okay. So you are going to be doing the orientation course today. It's called ORN 015. I'm going to show it to you in just a few moments. That is our training course that shows you where to find everything and how to do your daily tasks in the online school environment. I have already sent you some emails, and I've probably already texted your learning coach to introduce myself. If you have questions, feel free to respond to any of that. That's what I'm here for. I am your personal assistant for the next couple of days to help get you ready for Monday. Okay. Today and tomorrow is just going to be orientation stuff, and we're going to get you ready to go so that you're comfortable to be in classes on Monday. You do have a full day of sessions today and tomorrow, but you're going to do things like meet your counselor, meet the attendance specialist, meet the principals, meet your teachers. You're going to do that kind of stuff. Okay. So we're going to ease you into it today and tomorrow. I do want to stop right here before I get any further and show you who our principals are. We have two. One is Miss Smith. She is in charge of middle school. So if you're a middle school student, she's the middle school principal. She's also in charge of our career learning program, the CTE classes. So she does deal with the high school kids in that capacity. Miss Goldie, who's over here, her last name is Goldsmith, but she prefers to go by Goldie. She's the high school principal. So high school students, she's going to be your point of contact, and you will hear from her in email and even in some class sessions from time to time. She also is the special programs principal. So if you have an IEP, a 504, you need speech services, anything where you get special accommodations, she's the principal that oversees that as well. All right. Today and tomorrow, here's what we're looking at. And let me just go ahead and block this afternoon piece out because it is not correct for you. That's really sloppy, but you're going to get the point. Lucky for you guys, the testing window has not opened for NWEA yet, so you don't have to do those sessions today. So on your schedule today, you should see orientation, which is where you are now. After this, you've got about a 10-minute break, and then you're going to meet with your counselors. Your counselors are going to go over some common questions. Then they're going to pull you one-on-one and talk about your transcripts and your classes and what you want to take and all of those burning questions that you have. Okay. I'm not the counselor, so I'm not the person to ask those things of, but it's coming up next. Okay. After that, today you're going to meet with the attendance specialist. Tomorrow, you will meet with two ladies. One is our social emotional learning coach, and the other is our family resources coordinator. And they're going to talk to you about student services and things that we have to help you, resources basically. Then, since we don't have testing today, that's a really ugly squiggle. I'm sorry about that. We don't have testing today because the testing window hasn't opened. So you'll be doing that in your regular classes later. That gives you 2 hours to work on your orientation class. Okay. Because in order to get through to Monday, you have to complete the ORN 015 class. And we're going to look at it in just a minute. So hold on to that. Then at the end of the day today at 2:45 Eastern, you're going to meet your teachers. Middle schoolers will be with some middle school teachers and high schoolers will be with some high school teachers. Okay. Tomorrow at the end of the day, if you are a high schooler, I believe grades 10, 11, 12 are invited to this session to talk about credit recovery. So if and when you get into a situation where you need a credit recovery class, you know what the options are and how that works. Okay. If you're a middle schooler or a ninth grader, I don't believe that session is on your schedule because hopefully, you're not in that situation yet. It doesn't apply to you basically. So tomorrow, those of you who are middle school, grades 7, 8, 9, you'll be finished at lunchtime. Sound good? That's tomorrow, not today. Yes. Yes. Sounds very good. And today, you've got a big break here at lunch. You've got some work time to work on your assignments. So you don't have to do those after school. You've got 2 hours right at lunchtime to work on those today. So really by 2:30-ish. Yes. I know you're freaking out like, oh my God, there's assignments today. The class that you're doing today is the orientation class. So basically all you're doing is turning in some paperwork and turning in some assignments where you're learning how to use our system. It's nothing hard, I promise. Okay. And it really shouldn't take you more than an hour total to do all of it. So you should have all of that turned in by 2:30 today. And then when you go to meet the teacher, you'll be all finished and you'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay. So you won't have homework tonight if you use your work time this afternoon. Okay, now I'm going to take you on a tour of what we call the OLS. Sometimes teachers also call it D2L. There's all sorts of acronyms in school, right? Yeah, you really shouldn't have been in homeroom today. I don't know why you were already coursed in homeroom, but that's not your fault. So don't worry about it. Tomorrow, you do not have to go to homeroom. Okay, you can come straight to me at 9 o'clock. So you can ignore that for now. You shouldn't even been in homeroom today. Yeah, that's our goof. If one of the counselors already stuck you in a homeroom, that was a mistake. Okay, didn't hurt anything, but that was a mistake. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the online classroom and what it is that you're going to be doing today. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour of the online school, what it looks like, right? I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to screen share and show you exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Hold on one second. Okay. I was just letting the counselors know that you shouldn't have had homeroom this morning and they need to fix that so it's not there tomorrow. Okay, so when you come into the online school, the OLS, and you can go back and forth between this tab that looks like this, the online school, and this classroom. So if you want to look at things, take a peek, come back to this screen, that's completely fine. But I want to point out a couple of things to you. When you log in, it should be your name right here at the top. Shouldn't be your mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whoever your learning coach is. It should be your name because there are two different accounts. One is for your learning coach. So we use the term learning coach because everybody has a different adult at home that's working with them. It's a different family dynamic for every family, right? So it might be mom or dad, it might be step parent, it might be grandparent, it could be an aunt or uncle, or even an older sibling, right? So we just say learning coach because we don't want to make any assumptions about who it is. So it should be your name because you want to make sure that you're logged in as the student when you're in classes. That's how we take attendance. You don't have to submit any attendance. Your learning coach doesn't have to turn anything in for attendance. All you have to do is log in the student account, go to your classes, do your work, and all of that time in our system is captured. So if you're logged in and you're working and you're going to class, you're getting your attendance. That's all you have to do is show up, right? Next to that is a little link. It looks like a piece of chain link. Those are quick links. If you are a high schooler, your graduation plan is in there, which is kind of your transcript. It shows you which classes you've already taken, which classes you still have to take, and kind of which pathway you're on. It might still be in process because you're brand new. So if we don't have all your transcript stuff, it might still be getting updated, but it should pull up and tell you your name and your student ID number. That's important for your student ID card and for other stuff too along the way. If you're a middle schooler, the graduation plan is not there, not yet. It's only for high schoolers. Next to that is your email. Each of you has a school email. It's an @HoosierAcademy.org email account. This is where all of your teachers will communicate with you. They will not use your personal email. They use the school email, and all of that communication is monitored. A lot of it is copied to your learning coach, so your learning coach knows what's going on as well. You need to check your school email every single day. I would check it probably 3 times a day. Once in the morning, once at lunch, once at the end of the day, because stuff sometimes happens or changes during the day, right? And you don't want to miss anything. Your teacher forgot to tell you something like, hey, we have a quiz Friday. I forgot to mention it. You want to see that message, right? If your teacher is sick or has a sick kid at home and they have to cancel class, you need to see that email so you know class is canceled and what to do for your assignment that day. So check that email. That's your first line of communication. Over here on the schedule tab, yours looks like this, right? You have the day here, which obviously this is an old picture, but you can go back and forth between days or you can select a date. You can also look at your schedule just for today or for the whole week, right? You can still check your personal email, Bridget, but we will not use it. We will use your Hoosier Academy email. On the left side of the screen, you have upcoming assignments. So these are things that are due either today or tomorrow, sometime in the near future. On the right side of the screen, you have an event schedule. That is your Class Connect schedule. So when the time comes for this class, all you do is click on this block, just like you did this morning, to get into the session. This is also where you access recordings. So let's say you missed this math class this morning because you had a dentist appointment. Later in the day, at lunch or even after school, you can come back and click on this block, even though the time has already passed. You can click on this block and you'll get a little pop-up window that says, this session's already ended, but it will give you a link to the recording of the session. So then you can watch it. And since you are in here in the online school watching that recording, it will be captured as attendance time as well. So that's how you make up that class, by going and watching the recording. It's also nice that all the classes are recorded, because if you miss something, you can go back and watch the recording. You can kind of fast forward and rewind. And like for math class, if you want to see your teacher do the example again, all you have to do is go pull up the class recording and you can watch it over and over and over. Just pretty cool, right? Some of those things you need to see more than once. So that's the schedule tab. Hold on just a second. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to take a look at where you are going for your onboarding course so that you can do your class this afternoon, right? You're going to work on it after lunch. You've got free time in your schedule after lunch and before meet the teacher. You've got 2 hours to work on this. So that was the schedule tab. We already talked about these things up here. Everybody can see my screen. It should look very similar to what yours looks like. Feel free to jump back and forth if you want to check. On the classes tab, that's where you find your classes. And right now you should only have one. The only class you have is this one, the orientation class. It's called ORN 015. Welcome to Online Career Learning. Does everybody have that class? They might not have it. Go to the classes tab, see if you have this class. Yep. Some of you even started working in it. I love it. You are self-motivated. You're an independent worker. That's awesome. Okay. So to get into my classroom, all I have to do is hover over this box and hit go to class. Now, every classroom is set up exactly the same. So all you have to do is go through this course. And then when you get to your other classes on Monday, they're going to look very familiar to you because you've already done these things, right? I'm going to switch so it looks just like yours, the student view. Okay, let's talk about what's here, right? Because you don't want to miss anything. On the left top corner right here, you have updates. So when you start your discussion post, which is an assignment you'll do today, if people respond to you, you'll have feedback right there in that little corner telling you how many discussion posts you haven't read yet. And, maybe somebody replied to you. That would be nice. You should create your own introduction post and then respond to other people. It also will have teacher feedback here. So if you turn something in and you make a mistake and I can't give you all of the points, I will send feedback and let you know what it is you need to fix. You have 3 attempts at everything in this course. That's how it is for most classes. So don't be satisfied with a bad grade. Don't be satisfied with half credit, right? Go back and do it again. Okay. We are firm believers in do it over, try again, get a better grade. So read the feedback and then correct the mistakes and resubmit it. Okay. Here on the right side of the screen, you probably have a box up here above this that says your grade in my class and your percentage in the progress, and even a place to contact me. Mine's not showing that, but it should be right here at the very top where it will tell you your grade in this class. Right now it's probably an F, and that's okay because your stuff's not even due yet, right? So you're going to quickly go to an A this afternoon. No worries. It also shows you your class schedules here within every classroom. Then as you scroll down, you have some upcoming events here on the left side. These are things that you're going to be turning in this afternoon. I want to caution you about clicking them right here because it will jump straight to the assignment and skip over the lesson module. You want to make sure that you don't do that, okay? Not unless you've gone through the lesson first, then you can go do the assignment. Or if it's something like signing this photo video release, there's not really anything you have to learn about that. It's just a form. Same thing for ordering your ID. Doesn't really have a lesson associated with it. But this stuff like the scavenger hunt and the SMART goals, you want to make sure that you go through the lesson first and then do the activity. Otherwise, you're not going to know what you're doing. Here's an explanation for those of you who are panicking about why your grade's an F, okay? I did put stuff in bold because it's important stuff. I even put stuff in red and bold because it's super important, okay? So read through the announcements in the class. This is the home page of the course. I gave you some navigation tips. We're going to go through each of the tabs here. In case you forget, these are what each of the tabs do. And then you do have one Microsoft Word assignment today. It's the scavenger hunt document. And if you run into an issue where you can't type on it, I have some instructions here in the announcements for you how to fix that. You might have to click Enable Editing. If it doesn't show your name up here at the top of the document, you might have to actually sign into your Microsoft account, and you all have one through the school. It uses your entire school email address, and your school password. That's how you sign into Microsoft. Hopefully that won't be an issue, but if it is, the instructions to get around it are down there. So on these tabs up here at the top, the content tab is super important. The content tab is where your textbook lives, where all your assignments live, where all the lesson modules live, right? That's what content means. It's all the stuff. Okay? To get your classes, you're going to go through today and tomorrow and finish the assignments for this course. And then after you've had a chance to meet with your counselor today and tomorrow, they will have you all set up for Monday. So you're not going to attend English and math and science until Monday. Okay. So let's go take a look at the content tab because it's super important. We're also going to take a look at the progress tab, the grades tab, and the tools tab. Okay. Those are all important things that you're going to be using. And remember, I gave you a guide down here explaining to you what each of them does. So let's go to content and find our lessons for today. There's also some other stuff in here that I left for you. So it should drop in on this overview. You have this menu over here on the left where you can click around things. Make sure you're starting at the top. I emailed you guys this, but it's here as well if you accidentally deleted your welcome email, because there's some important stuff in here, like how to get in touch with tech support, how to report absences if you're going to be absent from school or even a class period. There's even information here about how to figure out where your stuff is if you don't think you have everything. You should at this point have a laptop and a printer. If you have any supplemental materials for your classes, that will probably come next week because most of your stuff's right here. Most of your stuff is digital textbook in the online classroom. As you scroll down, you've got some course materials here, stuff that I left for you, like the syllabus, my contact info, the school calendar, which is important because we don't necessarily follow the exact same holiday schedule that your local school does. So make sure you download our school calendar. There's another link to the student handbook here and the place where you order your ID card. All of that stuff is there for you. This right here where it says 1, Introduction to Online Learning, that's the first unit. This is the first chapter in your book. And then 2, Introduction to Career Learning, that's the second one. So we're going to go through these in order today. As you click on them, and I'm not going to do all of it with you right now. I'm just showing you what you're going to go do later after when you have work time after lunch. Okay. When you click on Unit 1, it has 2 lessons. So you want to make sure you do both of these and in order, right? Don't jump around, go in order. But if you look, they're all pretty much set up the exact same way. They have a get ready, which is the introduction to the chapter. Then explore is the chapter itself or the learning of the material. Then you're probably going to have some assignments, right? Kind of the end of the chapter assignment stuff. And then there's a summary to kind of summarize what it is you learned. Same for this one. Get ready, explore. You're going to submit some stuff, and then a summary. And if you look at Unit 2, exactly the same. Get ready, explore. It's not even assignments for Unit 2, and then a summary. Don't skip Unit 2, though, because it tells you all about our career learning program, and there's some really cool stuff in there for you about all the different pathways we have and the different certifications, and even some stuff to help you kind of explore different areas. So don't skip it, but there's not a graded assignment for it. So I want you to start in Unit 1, Lesson 1 this afternoon, right? You come over here, you click Get Ready. That's the very first part of the lesson. I'm going to keep clicking until I get to the actual content, right? So a couple of things I want to point out to you. When you go into a lesson module, you want to make sure you see all the pages. So scroll down to the bottom. This one has 2 pages. Don't freak out about the number of pages, though, because a lot of them have pictures and screenshots and videos. It's not necessarily all text. Okay, it's not all reading. It does not affect your grade. That's an excellent question. If you see the question over there in the chat that Aaron dropped, or no, was that Aaron? Hang on, it's Bridget. So Bridget said, when you go through the chapters and the links and stuff, it doesn't always give you a check mark, which what she's talking about is over here. Hang on, I got two screens and I'm in the wrong place. Over here, when you go through, see how I have this check mark here? That means I've already been to this section. However, it doesn't always work exactly like it's supposed to. Sometimes it won't check it off. The check marks are not important. Okay. The grades are important. And I'm going to show you in a minute. You can go to the grades tab and check your grades. So don't worry about the check marks. Don't let that bother you. So like I was saying in the first section, in every section, make sure you see all the pages. This one has 2. So we're going to go to the next page. Every lesson, it tells you exactly why you're learning this stuff, what it is you're supposed to learn, and how you're going to use it. So that's kind of nice. Then once you get to the end of the lesson, this is 2 of 2, then I can come up here to this navigation arrow and go on to the next one. This particular section, this Explore module for lesson 1, the very first lesson, is the most important. That's where you're going to spend the bulk of your time in my classroom, is because it teaches you how to do all of these things. There are 6 essential tasks or 6 essential questions that are going to be answered in these modules. And it's really important stuff, like how you get to the content in your courses, how you talk to your teachers, how you turn stuff in, how you talk to your classmates, how you look and monitor your progress and your grade, and what do you do if you need help. Okay. All that stuff is in this very first lesson. So this lesson is where you're going to spend the bulk of your time. You're required to spend at least 30 minutes in this course. And this is where you're going to spend most of it, is right here in this set of lessons in Unit 1, Chapter 1, Lesson 1. That makes sense. Unit 1 or Chapter 1, Lesson 1, the Introduction to Online Learning. That's all for this one. So I'm going to go on to the next part. And it's going to drop me into my very first lesson. I'm going to learn how to access the course content, which is pretty much what we're doing right here. Screenshots, pictures to look at, things are going to be circled for you and highlighted for you. And this is important. You don't have to turn in the scavenger hunt. You won't actually see it until lesson 2, but it's telling you right here to go ahead and download it and work on it as you go. Because as you go through these pages, it's going to tell you exactly where the answers are to these questions. So question number 1 is answered right here on this very page. I'm going to go ahead and download this document and open it up so I can put in my answers as I go. You go to the next page, go through all of the pictures and the circled things and all that. And look, here's question number 2. And it even gives you a link to help you find the answer to the question. Then I'm going to go to the next page, go through all of that stuff. Please make sure it's all loaded. You notice how it took a second for all the pictures to come up. Here's question 3, and so on and so forth. Okay. I'm going to stop here because this particular tool is very important. I wanted to show it to you in person. This tool is actually right here. When you click this and turn it on, it does all sorts of things to help you. If you're a person who would rather hear the stuff read to them than read it themselves, it will read aloud to you. All you have to do is hit the read button.
Reading Support Toolbar. The options on the Reading Support Toolbar can help you read a text in your lessons.
Okay. It is a computer voice, but there is a settings button here. You can slow it down or speed it up. You can even change the highlight colors to something else. Okay. Then there is a translate tool where I'm going to show you in just a second. And here are your language options. So it defaults to Spanish, but if Spanish is not your preferred language, you can change it to something else. There's also a focus button here. If you're one of those people that likes to drag your finger along the page as you read, that's what the focus toolbar is for, because it helps you stay focused where you are so you don't lose your place. Let me show you. When I click on focus, as I move my cursor down the page, it lights up right where I am so I know exactly what I'm supposed to be looking at and I don't lose my place. You do not have this class, ORN 015? Aaron, do you not have this class that we're looking at right now? Because you should, and I will fix it if you do not. Let me know, Aaron. Go and check your classes tab and let me know. Okay, 2 more things here, and then I'm going to wrap this up. If you don't know what a word means on the page, you should look it up, okay? You don't have to go get a dictionary or go to dictionary.com. All you have to do is highlight the word. Let's say I don't know what concentrate means. I'm going to come up here and click on define. It will say it for me. It gives me the different ways that it's used in different sentences. Gosh, that one has a lot. But it will help me figure out what that word means. If you speak a second language, if English is not your first language and you're not familiar with that word in English, all you have to do is highlight it and go to the translate button. And it will say it for you in several different languages, in several different ways. And remember, if it's not your preferred language, you can change that in the settings toolbar right here. It does have over 100 different languages. So I'm sure that yours is probably there, whatever your native language is. And kudos to you for speaking multiple languages. That's awesome. Okay, so this is what you're going to be doing this afternoon. You're going to be going through all of these lessons, looking at all of the screens, filling out your scavenger hunt questions as you go. Okay, when you get to the end of one lesson module, you just go right on to the next one. And remember, this explore section is the most important section. That's where you're going to spend the bulk of your time because it teaches you and reviews with you all of the stuff that I went over and even more. Okay, it even goes with you here about how to create emails. There's a video here for you, and they're all pretty short. That one's a minute. Okay, and you're just going to go through page by page until you have seen it all and learned it all. Okay, learned all of the things. If you need to take a break, all you have to do is come back to the content tab and your menu's over here on the left. It should be checking things off for you as you go to kind of help you keep your place, where you were, which ones you already done, and where you need to go next, okay? Most of your assignments are right here in lesson 1 under use assessment tools. And when I say assignments, they're really more just like tasks, okay? You're going to go in, you're going to change your profile photo. That's not hard. Then you're going to download this photo video release form and have your learning coach sign it and turn that in. The SMART goals assignment, you are going to, Aaron, I'm going to write that down and I'm going to double check. The SMART goals assignment, you're going to watch that video. And if it doesn't open for you right here, just by clicking, you may have to copy and paste it to a new tab. Sometimes things don't want to launch correctly, but you can always copy paste the link into another tab, right? You don't have to even watch the video because it tells you right here that SMART goals, SMART just stands for specific, measurable, achievable. I'm right here, relevant, and time bound. So for this assignment, all you're going to do is set up like a quiz, and all you're going to do is go in there, and for each question blank, you're going to write a goal for yourself. That's all you have to do. Okay. The next assignment is a discussion. All you have to do is introduce yourself to the class. That's it. You go to the discussion area, you start a new thread, and you say, hi, my name is Abby. I'm in whatever grade. I live in this particular area of Indiana because we are all over the state. So it's always interesting if you tell people what region or what city you're from. Don't disclose too much personal information though. Some people do like to share socials and that kind of stuff, but that is at your own risk, okay? Because once you leave the school environment, you are also leaving the protection of the school environment. So be very careful about what you share, okay? You are going to download the student handbook, and then you're going to go to this link and fill out this form saying you did it. That's all you have to do there. And you're going to go and order your student ID. Now, to get your points for your student ID, all you have to do is submit a screenshot of your order, or you can tell me your order number or some kind of proof that you made your order. Okay, that's what your student ID is going to look like. It is important that you get a student ID because most of you probably don't have a photo ID, which can be important. With my particular kid, my son, when we opened a bank account, he didn't have a driver's license yet. So he didn't have a photo ID, and he couldn't even like access his own account, go get his own money because he didn't have an ID. So it can be important in real life. For our purposes, it's important because when you come to testing or a face-to-face event or something like that, then you want to have identification. You have to have identification if you're going to do iLearn or iRead or SAT or any of that stuff. Okay. So that's pretty much it for what you're going to be doing this afternoon. That scavenger hunt comes up here in lesson 2 of unit 1. You will see it right here. Submit your scavenger hunt. You're going to download it from the beginning though, so you can do it as you go. And make sure that you write your name and date on page 2 of the scavenger hunt, so I know that you reviewed all that stuff. All of the numbered items on the scavenger hunt are not necessarily questions. Some of them you might just say, I found it, I completed it, done, check, and then you just put your name and date at the bottom, showing that you've been through the whole review, okay? Because it's just a review of all that basic stuff. Now, other tabs really quickly, and then we're going to get out of here. The progress tab will show you your progress in this class. So it shows you the percentage of the content you've been through. It will also show you the amount of time you have spent in the class. You have to have 30 minutes. So if you go in the progress tab and you scroll to the bottom, it'll tell you exactly how much time you've been in there. To get time, you have to be in the content tab. They're talking about the amount of time that you are in the content learning. Awesome. That's awesome. Aaron, I thought you told me you didn't have this class, but now you're saying you completed it? So you do have it. You confuse me. Oh, that was Bridget. Bridget, you don't have the class? Or do you? Or you telling me you're already done? I went in and updated the due date, so it shows as tonight. But if you did it before I updated the due date, not a problem. I've already been grading stuff, so you should be able to see it in your grades tab, which is right here. If you go to the grades tab, it will show you exactly what is graded in this course and what your grade is. I haven't done any of these assignments, so mine are all zeros. But all of these items are graded. They're 60 points. Each thing is worth 10. The profile photo, the discussion, the scavenger hunt, the photo release form, and the ID card. Those are the graded items. Okay. If you turn something in and you're waiting for me to grade it, please don't submit it 100 times. Okay. What you can do is go to Tools and Assignments, and it will show you whether or not something has been submitted. So if it says submitted right here, but there's no grade, that just means you're waiting on me, because most of this stuff does not auto score. I have to go check it. So if you don't have a grade yet for the profile photo, don't submit it 10 times. Okay. Just make sure it's been submitted and try to be patient. I will grade it. I grade things all day long. Okay. And this is every single thing that is graded. It even gives you some links here. So if you've missed it along the way, you can download what you needed. All right. So let me stop my screen share. Do you have questions for me about what you're doing after lunch today with this class? Does everybody understand how to go do the assignments? Didn't seem very hard, did it? Okay. One more thing I want to put up here. It is pretty simple. One more thing I want to put up here for you is the K-12 customer support contact. If you have trouble with any of your physical materials, meaning anything you can actually touch, like your laptop, your printer, your earbuds or earphones. I don't think they give you buds. They give you a corded kind. Next week, you'll be getting supplemental materials like English book. Like if you have a novel for English class, you'll get a copy of that. You might get a math workbook, different things that will be coming next week. If any of that stuff comes and it's damaged, or if your teacher's talking about something and you're like, hey, I don't have that, all that goes through customer support. I would go to the website first. There is a chat feature on the website. There is also a form that you can submit so that they're looking into it. I would call this phone number as a last resort because there is a long hold usually. This is a national support line, so all of the K-12 schools across all of the states call this same number, and it can get busy. So I would go to the help website first. They have lots of articles and stuff on there. You can search for stuff. You might be able to just figure out what's going on just by getting on there and reading a few things. They have downloads if you're missing something, like you need to download Microsoft Office, or you need to download the Chrome browser, or stuff like that is on there as well. And then they have the chat and the form, and the phone number is listed on the website as well. So all you have to remember is help.k12.com. Are you a middle schooler, Zachariah?
Yes.
Middle school, it's pretty clear what you're going to be doing because you just do 7th or 8th grade for math, English, science. When you get to high school, it's a little bit different. So they probably won't get their books until next week. Okay. Other questions? Anything? Because we still have time. Your next session is with your counselors coming up at 10:15. Are any of you on Central Time? Like I'm down in the southern tip of the state, down at the very, very bottom, and it is only 8:48 here. Yeah, you don't wish, because it's earlier in Central Time. Yeah. So if you're in Eastern Time, which most of the state is, then this is exactly right. But if you're in Central Time, yeah, there's one. Me too. Me too, Caden. It is 8:48 for me. If your classes are not showing correctly on your schedule tab, like when you go to this schedule tab, they should be showing in your time. And if they're not, you're going to go to this help website and you're going to put in the search bar time zone, and it'll show you how to change that so that they show in your time. You don't have any of the other class, you don't have any of these other sessions? What? Hold on, let me find that screen again. You should have these sessions today. You should have a counselor session, then attendance, and then at the very end of the day, you have meet the teacher. So you should have 3 more things on your schedule. So who said they don't have it? Jazzy doesn't have it. I'm going to make sure you get it. Aaron doesn't have it.
I have 6 more.
6 more? You should only have 3. You should have counselors,
I have
attendance.
8. I have 8 classes today.
Nope, you don't. That's a mistake. You should only go to these. Go to the counselor session next, go to the attendance session, and go to meet the teacher. You shouldn't be in any other sessions today. Are you a middle schooler? Because I bet they messed that up and went ahead and coursed
I'm a
you.
middle schooler, and today is my first day.
Yeah. So
Today's also
you're-
my first day as well.
yeah, 3 more sessions. So Jazzy, is yours right then? Yes. Okay. Aaron, what about you? Do you have those 3 more sessions on your schedule? And Abby. That's okay, Jazzy. You just made a mistake. You didn't lie. You just made a mistake. Okay. So if you're in middle school, you might be showing some extra sessions. You do not go to math or science or social studies. You don't go to any of those regular classes today.
I have study skills, esports, and then pre-7th study hall. Those are the ones that you didn't name that I have.
Yeah, you don't have to go to those. Yeah, I'm talking about on your schedule. So like on your schedule tab, your event schedule, you should have 3 more meetings. You have the counselors, the attendants, and meet the teacher. That's it. If anything else is on there, ignore it. You are not going to regular classes today or tomorrow. Okay, so Abby, do you have those? Do you have counselor, attendance, and meet the teacher? Yes. Okay. And then Aaron, did you have them on the schedule? There's no class on the classes tab. We're just talking about the schedule tab. If the esports meeting is on there and it doesn't conflict, it doesn't overlap anything else, you can go, but you don't have to. There'll be other opportunities for that later. Okay, good, good.
Mine overlaps study skill.
But you don't have to go to study skills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you want to go to esports, you can go to esports and find out what it's about. We have a really cool, actually a really good esports team.
So basically, like, I have a bunch of stuff after like attendance session, but attendance session is the last thing I do today, right? Which
Until meet the teacher. You come back at the very end of the day for meet the teacher.
yeah, meet the teacher at 3:15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all those other ones, you don't have to go. And yeah, some of them should be marked as optional.
Yeah, but most of them are as required, but most of them aren't even required since I'm new.
Yeah, yeah. Since you're new, you don't have to
Yeah.
go to that stuff. Yeah, esports is always going to be optional because it's not a required thing. It's a club and a team. They actually compete against other schools and stuff. So if you're curious about that, go check it out. That's a good question to ask them. I know that they play, is it Valorant and Minecraft? And I think this year they're doing some Mario stuff and maybe Fortnite. Yeah, so there's lots of stuff in there. You go check it out if you're interested.
Y'all done?
Yep.
You get it painted?
Yep.
Take a picture?
Yeah, I have a
You
picture.
know?
for you.
Okay, somebody's mic's on and I can hear your people talking. All right, well, if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to let you go. If you find that you need to know something later, you have a question, you know how to get in touch with me, right? You can check your email and respond. At the bottom of the emails that I send is also my phone number, which is my school phone. You can text me. My school phone does not work very well as far as talking on it goes. People don't hear me very well. So just text me. You can send me a text message and say, hey, it's Bridget. I have a question, and I will answer you. Okay. All right. To get out of this classroom, you go to the very top. There's a red door. And just make sure that you get to your next session, which is the counselor session at 10:15. All right. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you again tomorrow morning. Bye.